Yo, what up, and welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, listen, I had a long night last night, and I'm having a long day today because, you know what I'm saying, shorty doo-wop, she decided to, get a part-time gig, and, you know what I'm saying, so I'm watching the monkey today, so if he starts popping off at the mouth, which he has been doing, you know what I'm saying, and doesn't want to sleep, it is what it is. And Tom's, doing his dad thing is how the hell things work. But anyway, right? Man, listen, I got a phone call today from Jersey. I was like, yo, who's calling me from Jersey? Fuck is this bullshit? Well, it was a trucking temp agency. They called me and they go, yo, Tom. I said, what up? They was like, yo, we got a position in your area. And I was like, what is it? Right? And they said, we got a jockey job paying $32 an hour. And I'm standing here and I'm just like, yo, look, right now, if you break down my hourly wage, you know what I'm saying, I'm making about $40 an hour. But I have to drive and I have to work ridiculous hours sometimes. A lot of times it's not that much, though. A lot of times it's like 7 hours a day. But 6 months ago, I would have begged for this. And me and this dude got in a conversation about whether or not this is going to last. Because I'll be honest with you. Keep it all the way 100 here. It's questionable whether these wages will continue on as what they are. Because I'll be honest. I think there is a Great Depression coming. That's kind of my mentality. And I'm going to show you why, right? So this here is the M1 money supply. As you can see, this is November. Actually, this is March of 2020. There was $4.2 trillion in the supply. And as of right now, there is $19 trillion in the supply. Now, see, that's not just ridiculous. That is fucking insane. And I think I know what they're doing long term, right? This is what I think they're doing. I think they're loading up the money supply. Basically like building up inventory if you're a manufacturing company. Because you know that you're not going to have a lot of money coming in. But you want to be able to have a shit ton of money out there that, can immediately be liquidated. Now, let me keep this 100 with you. All this money, I think, is sitting in the equity market. This is where the 15,000 point jump in the Dow came from last year that we all rode up. Remember we all rode down? You know what I'm saying? I had everybody triple levered on the short, right? And we made all that fucking money going down last year. When it hit 15, it bounced back up. Because all of us was going, I was standing going like, bruh, it's going to 3. I'm going to keep it a buck. If they hadn't started printing off money like it was, you know what I'm saying, going out of style, they didn't go money printer, go brrr. If that didn't happen, it would have hit 3. Legit. That's what I was calling for. Because I'm standing going like, yo, there's no fundamentals to have it be where it is right now. It is entirely too far buried in debt. And especially with no economic activity. They basically, in the past year, printed out the entire U.S. GDP into the money supply. Right? They took it from 4 trillion. I'm going to say it again. 4 trillion to 19. That's $15 trillion. Our entire GDP. All of it. All right? Somewhere between 19 and 20 trillion. Literally, they're short like what? $4 trillion for our entire GDP for a year. Let me keep this 100. Right? Legit. That's an entire year. It's a whole year's worth of economic activity put into that bitch. On top of that, you're doing it as the baby boomers are all retiring. As these pension funds are coming due. As the infrastructure needs rebuilt. As Y'all continuing to close down for pandemics and start to have lockdowns again. And as worldwide, the baby boomers are retiring. So all that excess money, legitimately, all that money, you know what I'm saying, that's going to go from these elderly individuals to either older millennials or younger Gen X's. All that money is going to get transferred down the pike, especially as they start dying. That's another big part of this no one's discussing, right? Because these individuals aren't going to live forever, and especially with COVID around. All that money is going to get pulled directly out of the equities market and dumped either A, in the treasuries, or B, into the pockets of millennials. And it's going to start to pay bills. And all those assets that banks have, the asset alone is what a bank calls an asset, right? So it's basically debt. So once you pay back that debt, that money just straight disappears out of the market as a whole. So what happens? What happens when things start getting paid off and all that money straight just disappears? Because these baby boomers is retiring or dying and passes this money down. You're looking at a Great Depression. That's some real shit. You're talking about the tightening of the credit market because it's just not going to be any liquidity. Because all this cheap money is going to disappear. It's why, like, I don't see a good year for crypto coming up. I'll be honest with you, I don't. Because that requires cheap money. That's the secret to this. It's not about fundamentals. It requires cheap money. And if nobody's willing to dump money in, what's going to happen? This is important. So, did I take that job? I said, nah. I'll be honest with you. Truth is I don't think these wages are going to last. I don't think they can hold up. It is what it is right now. It's 100%. I don't think there's any way in hell any of this shit holds up. I think it's going to be breadlines next year or the year after at the very latest. Just keep it at 100. Sorry, a little dark for the day, but it is what it is. Oh, good burp, monkey. Yo, look, it's Tom Pease with Pnoid News. Y'all know what it's hitting for. Peace be like one. Later.